My husband slept with my sister, I divorced him, and cut off my family. Years later, karma came knocking. I found out my husband, Ryan, was cheating with my sister, Star, leading me to divorce him and cut contact with my toxic family. Years later, life took a dramatic turn. Ryan, 32, and I had been married for 6 years with a strong, loving relationship despite typical couple issues. 8 months ago, Star, 28, moved back to our hometown after her boyfriend dumped her in Florida, leaving her destitute. She claimed he cheated with men, which seemed unlikely based on the few times I met him. Star moved in with our parents, Gina, 55, and Jimmy, 56, and struggled to find work. I suggested Ryan, a higher up at his company, help her get a job. He did, and she joined his department. Star and I were never close. She was the golden child to our mom, while our dad was spineless. For example, at 16, I got an 8-year-old Dodge Neon, while Star got a 2-year-old Mitsubishi Eclipse. Her dance competitions cost thousands, but my requests for 50 sports camps were a burden. At 17, I lost my car for a month for being 15 minutes late, but Star faced no consequences for coming home 2 hours late, reeking of pot. I wasn't sad when she moved to Florida for college. When Star started spending time at our house, I thought she was trying to bond, but she and Ryan grew overly familiar, sharing inside jokes and work-related excuses. I work 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., while Ryan's schedule is 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., so Star was often at our house when I got home. They claimed it was for work. 2 months ago, I noticed the bed's pillowcases were flipped, which I meticulously arranged daily. Ryan denied being in bed but seemed shaken. I checked his phone and laptop, finding nothing, but their constant proximity at work made texting unnecessary. I felt like I was losing my mind. At a family dinner, I saw Star grab Ryan's arm, whisper something, and touch foreheads with him. It was brief, but her smug smile confirmed my suspicions. Devastated, I planned a weekend getaway to confront Ryan. On Friday, we had a great night, but on Saturday, I asked point blank if he was having an affair with Star. He admitted it, saying they clicked, and it escalated. He confirmed they used our bed. Heartbroken, I left with just my purse, drove home, and ignored his apologies. He moved to a hotel. I told my parents, who already knew. Star had left to stay with Ryan. Our divorce began, and Ryan initially offered me the house and savings out of guilt, but Star convinced him to split the house. I secured the savings in a new account. Star tagged me in a cruel Facebook post. A selfie with Ryan kissing her cheek, captioned, "Feeling loved." She texted an insincere apology, hoping we'd stay close. I blocked her on everything. My parents were no better. Mom said Star deserved happiness and dismissed the post while Dad stayed silent. I decided to go no contact with them, sell the house, and move to a new state without telling them. 4 years later, I'm engaged to James, 37, a chef who co-owns a restaurant with his twin, Jack, in Minnesota. Therapy helped me heal from the betrayal and abandonment. I tried dating but swore off men after a bad experience until meeting James. His family became the supportive one I always wanted. 9 months after moving, I received a wedding invitation from Ryan and Star with a letter from my parents urging forgiveness and claiming Star wanted me as a bridesmaid. It reopened old wounds, but I ignored it and cut off the cousin who shared my address. Years later, Ryan showed up at my apartment looking polished, saying he and Star were divorcing because she cheated throughout their marriage. He sought closure. I refused, calling Star a narcissist and telling him to leave. My landlady's nephews banned him from the property. The next night, Ryan appeared at James's restaurant. I asked about Star's fate out of curiosity. He admitted she cheated with married men and moved back with my parents after their divorce. James escorted him out, and his family rallied around me. After my first son was born, Mom contacted me, implying my child was her grandson. I replied that she had no grandchildren, as I was no longer her daughter, and blocked her. She persisted with new accounts, but I ignored them. Recently, Star and my parents bombarded me with messages, apologizing and begging to see my kids. I agreed to a Zoom call, excluding my children. Star looked ill, and my parents seemed worn. They admitted Star needed a kidney transplant, and I was likely a match. They also asked for financial help to save their house. I said I'd consider it. I got tested in Minnesota and was a perfect match. I traveled to St. Charles, where Star was hospitalized. My parents pressed for money, but I focused on the medical consultation. The doctor emphasized my compatibility and urged a quick surgery. In Star's room, I held her hand, looked into her eyes, and said she was vile, that I was her only hope, and I wouldn't help. I told her she'd die for betraying me. As she cried and my parents protested, I told them never to contact me again, saying I'd only pay for their funerals to flush their ashes. I walked out, returned to Minnesota, and am now surrounded by my true family, James, our 2 sons, and his loving relatives. I've never been happier.